Let me ask you something very important right at the start. What if low testosterone isn't really about age, genetics, or bad luck? What if it's about missing raw materials? Because here's the truth most men never hear. Your body doesn't decide to stop making testosterone. It simply runs out of what it needs to make it properly. And one of the most overlooked sources of those raw materials comes from something incredibly simple: nuts. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is just another food list, stay with me. Because once you understand how testosterone is actually made in the body, why it drops and what silently blocks it, you'll realize why certain nuts work so well and why most men never see results even when they eat them. Testosterone is not a vitamin. It's not a stimulant. It's a steroid hormone made from cholesterol, minerals, enzymes, and energy. That means your body must have the correct building blocks, the correct metabolic environment, and the correct hormonal signals for testosterone to rise. If even one of those is missing, production slows down. Let's start with the biggest misunderstanding. Testosterone does not decline just because you get older. That idea came from population studies that observed aging men eating more processed food, sleeping less, exercising less, carrying more fat, and living under chronic stress. Age got blamed, but metabolism was the real issue. Your testes don't suddenly forget how to produce testosterone. What happens instead is that inflammation rises, insulin resistance develops, stress hormones stay elevated, nutrient deficiencies accumulate, and blood flow becomes less efficient. All of that directly suppresses testosterone production. Now here's where nuts come in. Certain nuts contain extremely high concentrations of minerals and fats that directly support testosterone production at multiple steps, not indirectly, directly. Let's talk about zinc first, because zinc is one of the most critical minerals for testosterone, and it's one of the most commonly deficient nutrients in men worldwide. Zinc acts like a gatekeeper for testosterone production. It is required for the enzymes that convert cholesterol into testosterone. Without enough zinc, those enzymes slow down. Testosterone production drops even if everything else is perfect. This is why zinc deficiency is consistently linked to low testosterone in research, and this is also why men who supplement zinc often see improvements. But food sources work even better. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of zinc you can eat. A small handful provides a meaningful amount, and unlike supplements, pumpkin seeds also contain magnesium, healthy fats, and antioxidants that improve zinc absorption. Another critical point most people don't realize is that zinc also helps prevent testosterone from being converted into estrogen. When zinc is low, that conversion increases. Testosterone drops from both ends, less production and more conversion. That's one reason pumpkin seeds are so powerful. Now let's move to selenium, another mineral that almost no one talks about, yet it plays a crucial role in testosterone health. Selenium protects testosterone-producing cells from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress damages the Leydig cells in the testes, which are responsible for making testosterone. When those cells are damaged, production drops no matter how much cholesterol or zinc you have. Brazil nuts are one of the most concentrated natural sources of selenium on the planet. Just 1 or 2 per day is enough to meet your needs. More is not better. Selenium works in small amounts. This mineral also supports thyroid hormone function, and thyroid hormones directly influence testosterone levels by controlling metabolic rate. When thyroid function is sluggish, testosterone production often drops with it. Now let's talk about fats, because testosterone is a fat-based hormone. If you're afraid of fat, testosterone will be afraid of you. Low-fat diets consistently reduce testosterone levels. This has been shown repeatedly. When fat intake drops, testosterone drops. It's not complicated, but the type of fat matters. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. Why does this matter for testosterone? Because inflammation suppresses testosterone production, and insulin resistance lowers testosterone by increasing estrogen activity. When insulin levels stay high, an enzyme called aromatase becomes more active. Aromatase converts testosterone into estrogen. This is especially common in men with abdominal fat. By improving insulin sensitivity, walnuts indirectly protect testosterone from being converted into estrogen. Omega-3 fats also improve cell membrane fluidity. This helps hormone signaling work properly. Hormones don't just need to be produced, they need to be received by cells. Healthy cell membranes make that possible. Now let's talk about magnesium, another mineral that quietly controls testosterone. Magnesium helps lower cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol and testosterone have an inverse relationship. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. Always. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated, which tells the body that survival matters more than reproduction. Testosterone production slows down as a result. Almonds are a good source of magnesium, especially when eaten regularly. Magnesium also improves sleep quality, and sleep is one of the strongest drivers of testosterone production. Most testosterone is produced during deep sleep. If sleep is poor, testosterone drops, no matter how good your diet is. Now let's discuss pistachios, because they do something unique. Pistachios support nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide improves blood flow. Better blood flow means better nutrient delivery to hormone-producing tissues and better overall metabolic health. Circulation issues are often early signs of metabolic dysfunction, and metabolic dysfunction suppresses testosterone. Better blood flow supports healthier hormone signaling, better energy production, and improved insulin sensitivity, all of which support testosterone. Now here's where most people mess this up. They eat nuts on top of a bad diet. If you're eating nuts while also consuming sugar, refined carbs, seed oils, and ultra-processed foods, the benefits are severely reduced. Nuts don't cancel out metabolic damage. They support metabolic repair when damage is reduced. Another mistake is portion size. Nuts are nutrient-dense. They are not unlimited snacks. A small handful is enough. Eating large quantities can increase calorie intake without improving results. Timing also matters. Nuts work best when eaten earlier in the day or with meals. Late-night snacking can raise insulin and interfere with sleep, which works against testosterone. Now let's address insulin resistance directly, because this is one of the biggest testosterone killers in modern men. When blood sugar stays elevated, insulin stays elevated. High insulin suppresses testosterone production and increases estrogen conversion. This is why men with metabolic syndrome almost always have low testosterone. Nuts help stabilize blood sugar because they contain fiber, fat, and protein. When eaten instead of refined snacks, they reduce insulin spikes. This alone can improve testosterone levels over time. Another major factor is body fat. Fat tissue contains aromatase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. The more body fat you have, especially around the abdomen, the more testosterone gets converted. Improving insulin sensitivity helps reduce fat storage, which reduces aromatase activity, which preserves testosterone. Now let's talk about stress again, because this cannot be ignored. Modern stress is chronic. Emails, notifications, financial pressure, lack of sunlight, lack of movement, all keep the nervous system in a constant fight-or-flight state. When the body is in survival mode, testosterone is not a priority. Nutrients like magnesium, healthy fats, and stable blood sugar help calm the nervous system. Nuts support this indirectly by providing those nutrients consistently. Sleep deserves special attention. Even 1 week of poor sleep can significantly reduce testosterone. Chronic sleep deprivation lowers testosterone levels dramatically. Magnesium from nuts, stable blood sugar from fats, and reduced inflammation all support deeper sleep. Sunlight also matters. Vitamin D acts more like a hormone than a vitamin. Low vitamin D is strongly associated with low testosterone. Nuts don't provide vitamin D, but they support the systems that allow vitamin D to function properly. Now let's talk about expectations. Nuts do not act like drugs. They do not spike testosterone overnight. They remove bottlenecks. They restore the environment your body needs to produce testosterone naturally. Think of it like this. Testosterone production is like a factory. If the factory lacks raw materials, energy, and proper signaling, production slows. Nuts supply critical materials, but the factory still needs proper sleep, low stress, movement, and metabolic health. When all of those align, testosterone rises naturally. This is why some men feel dramatic improvements while others feel little change. The difference is not the nuts, it's the metabolic environment. Consistency matters. Testosterone responds to patterns, not one-time actions. Eating nuts once doesn't matter. Eating them regularly as part of a metabolically supportive lifestyle does. And finally, let's talk about mindset. Low testosterone is often treated like a failure or weakness. It's not. It's a signal. It's your body telling you something is off metabolically. When you respond by feeding your body what it actually needs, reducing stress, improving sleep, and stabilizing blood sugar, testosterone often follows naturally. Pumpkin seeds for zinc, Brazil nuts for selenium, walnuts for omega-3 seconds, almonds for magnesium, pistachios for circulation. Simple foods, real physiology, no gimmicks. If you want to support testosterone naturally, stop chasing shortcuts and start supplying your body with what it actually uses to function. And if you want to learn which everyday food quietly lowers testosterone without most men realizing, make sure you stay tuned for the next video.